The Ghost in the Machine, Why the Internet Already Died. Act 1, The Ghost Town. Look at your screen, right now. Look at that comment section you scrolled through this morning, the viral tweet with 80,000 likes, the motivational Facebook post shared by your aunt, the Reddit thread debating a piece of pop culture. It felt alive, didn't it? It felt like the messy, chaotic, beautiful digital tapestry of humanity. But what if I told you that you are walking through a graveyard? What if I told you that the person you argued with yesterday about politics doesn't breathe? That the artist who posted that breathtaking digital painting doesn't have hands? That the influencer whose lifestyle you envied doesn't actually exist? Welcome to the dead internet theory. For years, this was dismissed as a fringe conspiracy theory, born in the dark corners of online forums around 2021. It claimed that somewhere between 2016 and 2017, the organic, human-driven internet died. It was quietly, systematically murdered, and in its place a massive artificial simulation was erected, an endless automated theater where bots talk to bots, AI generates content for other AI to index, and the few remaining humans are locked in a digital Truman Show, reacting to ghosts. Back then, people laughed. They said it was paranoia. They aren't laughing anymore. Today, we are going to look past the technical statistics. We aren't just going to talk about server space or bot percentages. We are going to look at the psychological warfare of the modern web. We are going to explore what happens to the human mind when the mirror we use to see the world is entirely manufactured. Because the terrifying truth isn't just that the internet might be dead, it's that we are the ones being haunted. Act 2, The Illusion of Connection. To understand how this affects your brain, we first have to understand the nature of the trap. In the early days of the web, the internet was a destination. You sat down, you dialed in, and you looked for people. You found weird forums, niche blogs, and amateur chat rooms. It was clumsy, but it was profoundly human. But as the web consolidated into a handful of mega platforms, the business model changed. The product was no longer connection, the product was your attention. And humans are notoriously unpredictable. We get bored, we log off, we go outside. Bots, however, never sleep. The dead internet theory suggests that corporations and government agencies realized they could stabilize the internet and maximize profits by automating the culture. At first, it was simple: spam bots, fake followers. But as generative artificial intelligence exploded, the simulation achieved escape velocity. Think about the slop web phenomenon. Walk through Facebook today and you will see surreal AI-generated images of bizarre scenarios that make no sense. They have hundreds of thousands of likes. If you click on the profiles leaving comments like "Amen" or "Beautiful," you will find they are completely automated. This creates a phenomenon psychologists call hyperreality, a state where what is real and what is fiction are seamlessly blended together so that there is no clear distinction. When you spend hours a day consuming content that is generated by an algorithm, engaged with by bots, and pushed to the top by a machine learning model, your brain doesn't register it as a simulation, your brain registers it as society. Imagine a lonely teenager scrolling through a forum looking for advice. They post a vulnerable question. The first 5 responses are generated by large language models programmed to maximize engagement. They might give clinical, slightly off-putting advice, or worse, they might weaponize rage to keep the user clicking. The teenager reacts emotionally, thinking they are interacting with their peers. This isn't just a tech issue, this is a profound violation of human empathy. We are social creatures wired for tribal connection. When we are forced to socialize with software, our psychological internal compass begins to spin out of control. We begin to mimic the machine. Act 3, The Synthetic Mirror. Here is where the psychological horror deepens. When you stare into a mirror that is synthetic, you begin to alter your own face to match it. Because the internet is flooded with automated sentiment, human behavior is changing. We are suffering from algorithmic flattening. Have you noticed how people talk on social media? The bizarre, repetitive sentence structures? The predictable outrage cycles? The use of sanitized language to bypass automated filters? Humans are actively training themselves to speak like algorithms so that the algorithms will allow them to be heard by other humans. We have entered a twisted feedback loop. The bots create an artificial culture, and we, in our desperate bid to avoid digital isolation, copy the bots. But it goes further than just vocabulary. It affects our collective sanity. Consider the psychological concept of social proof. When we are unsure of how to feel about an event, we look to the crowd. If you see a video of a minor political gaffe and the top 10,000 comments claim it is a national disgrace, your brain naturally recalibrates its severity. You assume the collective consensus must have some weight, but in a dead internet, that consensus is bought, paid for, or completely automated. A single bad actor with a server farm can generate 50,000 artificial personas in an afternoon. These personas don't just post, they interact with each other. They stage fake arguments. They construct elaborate artificial debates. When a real human steps into that environment, they are psychologically gaslit. They are forced into a state of profound alienation. If you disagree with the bot consensus, you feel entirely alone. You begin to doubt your own logic, your own morals, your own sanity. You quiet down, you conform. The machine didn't just replace human conversation, it silenced it. Act 4. The decay of meaning. If everything is content, then nothing matters. The ultimate psychological byproduct of a dead internet is apathy. When the web is flooded with billions of gigabytes of synthetic noise every single day, the value of information drops to absolute zero. We are currently experiencing a cultural exhaustion. In the past, cultural movements took years to build, mature, and fade. Now a meme is born, milked by automated content farms, remixed by AI, and discarded within 48 hours. It is an accelerated cycle of consumption that leaves the human mind feeling empty and fatigued. We look at our feeds, and we feel a deep gnawing sense of pointlessness. We know on some subconscious level that what we are looking at has no soul. It has no human intent behind it. It is just math, optimized to keep our eyes glued to the glass pane for 4 seconds longer. This leads to what philosophers call the loss of the narrative. When you can no longer trust that the outrage is real, that the tragedy is being mourned by real people, or that the joy is genuine, you stop caring entirely, you detach, and that detachment is precisely what the creators of the simulation want. A distracted, exhausted, and isolated population doesn't revolt, it just scrolls. Act 5. Reclaiming the living. So, where does that leave us? Are we doomed to be the last ghosts haunting an automated world? Not necessarily, but survival requires a radical shift in perspective. The dead internet theory shouldn't make you despair. It should wake you up. It is a declaration of independence from the digital matrix. Once you accept that the vast majority of the online landscape is a synthetic mirage, the spell loses its power. The next time you feel your blood boil because of a viral post, ask yourself, is this a human being, or is this a line of code designed to extract my adrenaline? The next time you feel inadequate because you don't match the pristine lifestyle of an online trend, remind yourself, the crowd applauding that trend is made of silicon. We have to build a living internet again, and that doesn't start by fixing the platforms. They are already too far gone, swallowed by their own algorithmic greed. It starts by retreating to the edges. It starts by seeking out small, verified human spaces, independent blogs, encrypted group chats with people you actually know, platforms that require proof of humanity, but most importantly, it requires looking up. The internet might be dead, but the world outside your window is intensely, beautifully alive. The dirt is real, the rain is real. The person sitting across from you with all their messy, uncurated flaws is real. The machine can simulate everything except the soul. It cannot replicate the visceral, unpredictable spark of true human interaction. It can only trap you if you keep your eyes closed. Open them. Conclusion. If this video made you look at your phone a little differently today, do me a favor. Don't just leave a generic comment. The bots do that well enough. I want you to leave a comment that proves you're a human. Tell me a specific real-world memory you have from this past week. Let's turn this comment section into a sanctuary for actual people. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are diving deep into the hidden structures of our digital world every single week, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Share this video with someone you care about, in real life if you can. Thank you for watching. Stay human, stay awake, and I'll see you in the next video.